That's Ryan Cabbage. Charlotte Golf is about to play its fifth and final tournament of the fall, and let's kind of catch up on the last few tournaments, Coach. It's been a lot of the Raul and Franco show. Those guys have been very consistent, and then I think Roland has been consistent as well, finding the other two guys, the consistency out of them. It's been kind of hot and cold, but a lot of your younger guys have put up some pretty good rounds of golf. It's just a matter of kind of figuring out a way to get it done for the whole weekend. What would you kind of assess the first 4 weeks of college?
Well, I think as you mentioned, Raul and Frank have really played well. Both those guys have been in contention pretty much every week. Thomas had a great week there in Birmingham against a very good field, and you look at what Seth Gandy did, getting his first top 20. As an individual as he was playing over at Duke. But, overall, I feel like that we have been close. I know the guys have talked about as individuals that they feel like they've been really close to playing very well. And we just continue, working hard and looking forward to a good week out at Pacific this week.
Yeah, this last tournament, you guys have played at this course quite a bit, and the scores can vary wildly based on the weather, so you're not really sure what you get from day to day. What is the sort of the mental preparation for conditions that can be really all over the place for a place like this?
Well, one thing, there has been a change in the venue for this event this year.
Okay.
We have played at Brookside Country Club in Stockton the last couple of years. Numbers obviously have been very low. We set a lot of school records out there on that golf course last year. This year, new venue over to Stockton Country Club. Very short golf course, old school golf course. We're going to find very tree-lined fairways and very small greens. I expect the guys will have a lot of wedges in their hands into those greens, and we've put a lot of work in with wedge play in the 2 weeks in between the Duke event and this week, and looking forward to getting out there and still making a bunch of birdies.
Now, you have played on certainly different kinds of courses to try to prepare yourselves. We've talked about this in years past about ready for regionals. You don't know where you would go, so you got to kind of prepare for everything. How has that been for you this year on the 4 tournaments you've played, including one out in the Far East?
It has, and the golf course, in Japan, was very an American-style golf course. So that wasn't a lot different than what we're accustomed to. Defusky Island, was a very difficult golf course. We saw some windy conditions down there, along with a very hard golf course. Going to Birmingham, very long golf course there. That golf course measured almost 7,400 yards in par 70. So that was a week of, I think our guys hit driver off pretty much every hole there. Going to Duke, saw sort of a middle-of-the-road type golf course. And then this week, we'll see a little bit shorter golf course, probably at about the 6,700-yard range. Probably won't hit as many drivers, this week in California as we have the last few weeks. But, we'll adjust to whatever those conditions might be, and just looking forward to a good week.
And along those lines, you've put yourself in some very good tournament fields. I mean, that's one of the reasons why your rating has been nice and high for the team, because you guys have played some very good individuals, some very good teams. And I know that's by design, but what can you get from playing the absolute best that college golf has to offer week in, week out? Does it give you a good test of where you are? Does it give the guys a good look at the kind of golf that you want them to play?
It does, and that's, something that our guys understand, that, when they choose to come to Charlotte, that's what we're going to do. And what better way to find out where you are than to compete against the absolute best teams in the country. We have seen a lot of those teams throughout the course of the fall, and we'll continue to see those teams, this week in California, and then certainly as we kick off the spring and move through our spring season. So, that's where we know that we want to be, come May and June, once we get into postseason play and the NCAA championships. And so it's been a good gauge for us to find out where we are, find out that we do have a chance, and that's something that we've seen, this fall. We have a chance to be a very, very good team. At the same time, measuring ourselves against the top teams in the country to find out where we need to improve and where we need to get to. But I know that Golf Week has our schedule right now. I think it's the 6th best schedule in the country right now, which is a credit to these guys and what they've been able to accomplish, in the past in order to get into those events. And we'll continue to do that and find out where we are and just try to keep getting better.
Yeah, speaking of getting better, as the weather turns colder, how much more difficult is it on guys to really get solid work in? I know you've got all kinds of gear and all kinds of layers and things like that, but is it difficult as you turn to November, December to keep the guys coming out here and working on their game, because these practice swings will pay off in March, April, May, into June.
Right, and we're fortunate to have a wonderful facility at Rocky River to where our guys can practice indoors if we do get some inclement weather over the course of the winter. But, overall, we have very few days that the guys, they may have to bundle up just a little bit, but I certainly wouldn't consider it to be, a situation where we can't get some work done, and our guys understand that, and they'll be out here all winter working hard, either from the indoor bays or getting outside and getting some work in that way.
Yet another long flight. I mean, you probably have a free flight anywhere in the world after this fall of all the traveling you guys have been doing. This is probably the most road-tested team I've ever seen, and considering some of the guys come from Europe, these long flights still can wear down on you playing at 13-hour time zones away.
Right, it has, and obviously Japan being the obvious one there. But headed out to California this week, it'll be important for our guys to be in good form before going out there, making sure that their health and everything is good. We'll get there, we'll have a day to kind of get our feet under us and have a good practice round, and then get ready to go, for this event. We're taking back a couple guys that played very well there last year with Franco Castro and Raul. Both had great events at the Pacific Invitational last year, and I look for all of our guys. I feel like we're in good form with our golf games. I think we're in good shape physically, and I'm really looking forward to a good week.
All right, hopefully low scores, have a good taste in your mouth into the winter break, and turn it around and come back out in the spring semester, and we'll catch up with you when you get back and kind of see where you guys are. But congrats on the season so far. Good luck this weekend, safe travels, and we'll catch up with you when you get back.
Perfect. Thanks, Ryan.